morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at a bunch of news, and also, you know how we've got those Pokemon Together, I think they're called, the Poké Post promos. You know how they're a thing, but they're only a thing in Europe? Well, the lovely folks at the Pokemon Company have given me a bunch to give away to you lovely folks. So, yeah, keep watching. In a minute, I will show you how to potentially win some of those. And I think that sounds like an awful lot of fun. Good. So anyway, starting off then, we've got a new set, which has gone and been confirmed for over in China, mainland China. It's going to be coming out. Remember, mainland China is, just going fast at catching up. Hong Kong and Taiwan have had traditional Chinese cards for a while now. We are talking about mainland China, simplified Chinese, and they've already gotten to, well, what is basically Chilling Reign for us. Although actually a little bit further than Chilling Reign, depending how you look at it. It's kind of amazing. And if any of you are over in mainland China and you're playing in this, let me know how you feel about this, because it must be quite intimidating with sets coming out so thick and fast. Now, they've chosen a winner, so to speak, a Pokemon which is highlighted in the set. They've gone for Galarian Moltres V, which, to be fair, seems pretty good. It's a card that was really widely played. It is still seeing quite a lot of play. It is still one that we see, well, honestly, quite a bit. This is a card that is doing the rounds. And now we get it coming in here. And honestly, yeah, it's kind of lovely. Now, they've not actually gone and highlighted the alternate art, the special version, call it what you will. They've just gone and shown us the regular, but you can accelerate energy to it, and it hits a good weakness, and it's just really, really good. This is a very cool card. So it's nice that they've gone and shown us that one. And that is a real poster child for the set. They've shown us a couple of other cards, nothing huge like that. They've gone and shown us Single Strike Beedrill, which, to be fair, was a card that saw a bunch of play. Instant one-hit kill on anything with special energy. And Rapid Strike Malamar that, for instance, the lovely Joe Bernard went 9-0 with at Liverpool Regionals one year, which was, kind of cool. And they've got the Celebi and Manaphy that were actually, they were deck cards over in Japan, and then we got them as part of Shining Fates. That's what I mean when I say kind of going a little bit beyond Chilling Reign, because these cards are ones that for us actually came in Shining Fates. And it's really interesting to me to see how China's dealing with this, because they're not copying our sets. By our, I mean in the West. And they're not copying Japan's sets. They're kind of going off on their own and doing their own thing and making their own sets, which is kind of fun, honestly. I really like this. If I find myself over in China anytime soon, and I'm not sure that I will, but if I do, I'm going to pick up a bunch of Chinese cards because they just seem cool. A lot of resellers, unfortunately, are starting to really mark these up. Although, worth mentioning, of course, I do have that partnership with Shippen, shippen.com, and then use the promo code TCGRadio15. So if you want to buy stuff from Chinese sites, that's a way to do it. Of course, Galarian Moltres was on the booster pack, one of the booster packs at least, of Chilling Reign. It was one of the cards from that set that we were highlighting as well, so it kind of makes sense. Outside of that, they've shown us like Dracozolt V, which is actually for us, VMAX, which actually for us came out in Evolving Skies, which again is a little bit later. And then they've gone and shown us Victini VMAX, which is for us actually from Battle Styles, which is before Chilling Reign. This is what I mean when I say their sets are all over the place. And I say that as kind of a fun little side note. Their sets are a little bit all over the place. But yeah, these cool cards are coming, and these are things I think are kind of awesome, honestly. So yeah, there's a new Chinese set coming out, and it's kind of fun. You know what else is kind of fun? Ultra Pro have kind of almost gone and made a really cool playmat. Not quite, but is a lot closer than they've gotten in the past, and I think this is kind of commendable. Now, of course, we know at this stage, we've seen enough, right? We know that Ultra Pro are only actually able to use the stock Kensugimori artwork of Pokemon. And we know this because we've seen a bunch of products, and the only stuff they've ever used is the stock Kensugimori artwork of the Pokemon. So that kind of tells you that that's what they're limited to. And this Abracadabra Alakazam playmat, make no mistake about it, this is using the Kensugimori stock artwork of those Pokemon. This is not new artwork, they've not commissioned any artists, and it's presumably it might be a cost thing, it might be a time thing, I honestly don't know. But there's clearly something in the licensing agreement with Pokemon that Ultra Pro have that limits them to using the stock artwork. But look what they've done with it. Sure that it's a kind of a generic, psychic-y kind of background, and the Kensugimori artwork, but they've actually gone and done a very cool thing with it, and they've used Pokeball symbols and psychic energy symbols, and there's no real new artwork on here. But the way they've put it together, and putting Alakazam in the middle, and having the other two kind of facing away from it, it's kind of cool. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the best playmat ever, it's not. Or that I'm going to go and buy it sometime soon, I'm probably not. But I am telling you that if you compare it to, like, the Mimikyu and Pikachu playmat, which I'm sorry is absolutely terrible, this is really quite nice. Do you want some other rubbish examples of terrible playmats? The Enchanted Glade playmat was absolutely horrendous. The Haunted Hollow playmat was just rubbish. And let's not forget the majesty of the Seaside playmat. All of those were flat terrible. Absolutely terrible. And did not deserve your money. Although I know that fans of the Pokemon do like to go and buy them because they've got the Pokemon on. And look, as I've told you a million times before, what I'm saying in this video represents my personal opinion and nothing more. If you're looking at the Seaside playmat and you're going, Wassy, big Lapras fan here, love the Seaside playmat, brilliant. If you're buying this and enjoying it and getting joy from it, that's great. But what we've seen from Ultra Pro in the past is, here's a generic background made, found, not sure. We've whacked some Pokemon stock images on, we're done. And I've said in the past that it looks like something a fan made in 5 minutes on Photoshop. And some of you have literally made ones just like this in Photoshop in 5 minutes and sent them to me to be like, you know what, Rossi, you were right. But look, I'm a big believer in credit where credit's due. I wasn't particularly kind to the old playmats, which I thought were terrible, and I told you they were terrible. And I'm telling you, this one, they're working presumably, seemingly under the same constraints as they were last time. And yet, what they've gone and produced is approximately 1 billion times better. And I appreciate this. So yay! But what about this Poké Post thing? Well, big shout out to the lovely folks at the Pokemon Company. I went to Poké Post yesterday, or as I record this yesterday, I literally landed in England from San Antonio, landed in London, went directly to the tube, jumped on the Bakerloo line, went over to Waterloo, and went to Poké Post. And Pokemon were lovely. They let me send some to my kids, and they let me film and all of that. But one of the things they did, which I very much appreciated, was they gave me a bunch of Pikachu and a bunch of Eevee to give away to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Which was extremely kind of them. And I know a bunch of you have got in touch with me and basically said, hey, we'll see, how do we get these in the US? Well, I've chatted to Pokemon. They're not coming to the US. Unless something changes, as far as it is, the Poké Post, which has been announced as a Poké Post, we've got. Now, maybe there's something planned they're not ready to talk about, but I would be stunned because it's clearly a winter thing going on here. Don't expect this anywhere else. Although, you know, if this is a success, I don't know, maybe it comes back next year. This isn't what Pokemon are telling me, this is my prediction. Maybe it comes back next year, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe if it comes back next year, it comes to the US. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But what I do know is I've got a bunch of the Pikachu and a bunch of the Eevee that I want to give away to you lovely ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're not actually going to run the contest on YouTube because it gets kind of awkward and complicated. We're going to run it over on my Twitter at the Wassy. So I've told you about it now. Be on the lookout. There's going to be a post going up in the next day or two on Twitter at the Wassy where I tell you all about it, how you enter and all of that. It's much easier for me to manage on Twitter than it is over here. So we're not running the contest on YouTube. We're running it over on Twitter, or X, but I'm not saying that. It's on Twitter, all right? So go check on Twitter at the Wassy. I will pop it up there, and we'll give some of these cards away. And it will be wonderful. So there we go. That's the news. We've got a fun new set coming out in China, which I just love seeing how these sets are made up. We got an Ultra Pro Playmat, which isn't completely terrible, which I think is frankly very newsworthy. And I'm going to be giving away some of these cards to you lovely ladies and gentlemen. Comment down below, and we'll get right on it. There we go. Right, cool. Now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think. Make sure you comment. And this is the video you need to comment, right? Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy. That's where you can find out about all kinds of Pokemon stuff. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Jeanette Hicks. And this is their first shout-out on the channel, so shout-out to them for the support and just being awesome. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.